So I converted my Integra to manual idle. Check this out. Ooh, perfect, just perfect. See that? Now, if you guys are curious how you can convert your car to manual idle, it's actually not that hard. So I'm gonna show you how to do this on my spare B18 right here because it looks exactly the same on the Type R. So this is your intake manifold, all right? And then the idle air control valve typically sits in the back right here. Now, as you can see, I removed it because I'm using it on the Type R engine, but it's gonna have ports to match these guys right here, the two ports, all right? One goes to the throttle body, one goes to the inside of the engine, and what that valve does is regulate like a faucet how much air goes in here depending on your engine temperature or your idle load, right? So what I do is I typically remove the idle air control valve out of the way first, disconnect this connector, all right? And then I make a template out of this and then cut a piece of steel or aluminum to match this and then silicone it, plug it, and then put the idle air control valve on top of the plate you just made and then bolt everything down. That would be the cleanest way to do it. But if you're not talented enough to cut that little template and then, you know, match the holes, I would just get silicone like Honda Bond and then fill your idle air control valve and then let it sit overnight. That way it's not gonna work. Pop it back in, attach your connector. If you remove your connector, like a lot of people who try to delete the idle air control valve, you're gonna have a check engine light, which means you never know if that check engine light's actually for the idle or if it's for your throttle position, your map, or your engine's about to explode. All right, and then after you got that silicone or you made a plate, you go over here and you adjust the screw right here. Now, I'm assuming this is for the idle because, or you know, the bleed off, because on my Skunk, it looks similar to this. I've never really adjusted the OEM one on this, but I did a long ass time ago, and I think it was this screw. And then you just set it to whatever you want. If you're using Hotsport mounts, it really likes to idle around 1,000, so it doesn't vibrate like crazy. The lower your idle is, the more vibration you feel on these cars with Hotsport mounts, and that's pretty much it. I like higher idle because you don't have as much engine braking also if you're on and off the throttle at the canyons, and also it's quicker to accelerate off the line because you're already at 1,000 RPM instead of 700.